The Zimbabwe Exemption Permit Holders Association say they will head to court next week to seek an urgent interdict to stop banks and schools in South Africa from harassing Zimbabweans who are under threat of deportation. Zimbabweans' stay in South Africa is under threat as their Zimbabwe Exemption Permit system will expire in 2023. Thousands of Zimbabweans living and working in South Africa under the system have been told by local South African banks to provide a valid visa or permit within 7 days. The banks say if they fail, the matter will be reported to the Department of Home Affairs in terms of Section 45 of the Immigration Act. According to advocate Simba Chitando, who is representing ZEP holders, the banks are being used as a weapon against Zimbabweans. Advocate Simba Chitando now joins us on the news to take the conversation further. Thank you very much for giving us your time. As the person representing this group of people with, with permit holders, basically, take us through the application they filed. If you can hear me, sir, if you can unmute so I can take the question again.
Sorry, I apologize.
That is absolutely fine. I'm trying to find out from you, as the advocate representing ZEP permit holders. Take us through the application they filed.
The application that is about to be filed is going to seek relief from the various forms of intimidation and restriction that Zimbabweans are facing on the ground. The first being the schools. ZEP holders' school children have been refused enrollment for the 2023 academic year. This because some of the schools are saying that the ZEP holders' parent is not going to be legal in 2023. And of course, that is not true. The first extension for the ZEP was to come to an end in December this year, on the 31st of December. There's been a second extension, and what is taking place is some of the schools are now putting pressure on their parents to apply for visas and permits that many of the parents would not qualify for. So there's a dispute as to whether the parents would be legal in 2023. They will definitely be legal until the 30th of June. And after that, the matter will be decided in court. Obviously, the matter will be heard on the 11th to the 14th of April, and we'll seek a judgment in that case that has been set down. But until then, there's the issue of the schools. Then there's the issue of the banks. The banks are threatening to close ZEP holders' bank accounts if they do not have a visa or applied for visa. And many of those visas they don't qualify for, because what has happened is that the South African government have made several other decisions apart from ending the ZEP. The most important one is making the critical skills list a lot shorter to block ZEP holders from acquiring a critical skills permit. So we have a very challenging situation where the ZEP holders are effectively being closed out of the South African community. Their children are being forced out of school, and then the hope, obviously, from the people who are making
let me interject and ask you quickly. When you say that permit holders are being weaponized by banks and schools, could you explain what you mean?
Okay. To explain what I mean, I would have to take you back into the past, because this is a long-running matter.
Okay, if you can summarize it quickly, because the news is just 30 minutes.
Quickly, just to summarize it quickly, I'm saying it's been weaponized because the banks know that the ZEP permit is valid until the 30th of June 2023. But they've sent emails saying that the ZEP holders have to have a permit before the end of this year, which is inconsistent with what the Minister of Home Affairs has said, that they are legal in the country until the 30th of June. So by making these demands that they have apply for a permit that they won't qualify for before next year, that is a way in which they can force these individuals to apply for documentation that they do not qualify for. It's just, they're closing the door. They're using the banks to force people out of the country before the 30th of June, 2023. And that's the best way I can sum it up. Using very...
A lot has been said about this, Marta, but to be frank, June 2023 is just around the corner. And we know that many Zimbabweans that you are representing are uncertain of their future in South Africa, and most of them have their hopes pinned on you. Could you tell us the latest, what you're doing, and how can these people keep their hopes alive?
The latest is earlier this month, the full bench of the Pretoria High Court set the matter down, the decision to review, put the Minister of Home Affairs decisions on review. That matter is going to be heard between the 11th and the 14th of April next year. That has bought time, and that is the latest. To update the public. So many people don't know that, and I'm happy that you've asked the question. There's a lot of pressure on our shoulders. It's not just me, many other lawyers involved. I'm one of the leaders of the legal team, and it is a very difficult situation, obviously. But we are hoping for a judgment just after April, which will cancel the decision by the Minister of Home Affairs out, and the ZEP holders will be entitled, hopefully by then, to apply for permanent residency in the country. That is the target.
All right, Simba, thank you very much for giving us your time, and good luck with the case.
Thank you.